Welcome to the Irrelevant Podcast. I'm Nathan Jones with my co-host Alex Lewis, back for episode 35 with Krysten Janzen, our first international guest, as Alex liked to point out to us. Krysten, welcome to the Irrelevant Podcast.
Thank you for having me.
So, Alex brought you on to the show. He's like, hey, you got to go follow this person. She's doing a good job. She's killing it. You seem to just be absolutely crushing the social media world. So why don't you just go ahead and tell people who in the heck you are?
Well, thank you. My name is Krysten Janzen. I am a chartered professional accountant by trade. Didn't like what I was doing and started doing personal training on the side. Quickly realized that this was my passion, just trying to help people find their goals and making this a lifestyle for themselves. So I started doing personal training on the side, got my certification, and transitioned into doing online coaching, gathered up a bunch of other certifications over the years, and the rest is history.
So accounting for you. You decided accounting wasn't it. What kind of got the ball rolling within the personal training world? Like, did you just kind of have some people reach out to you, or did you just want to be like, you know what, I think I can do this and help people? How did you kind of get the ball rolling with that one?
I think the biggest thing with that is I always grew up being an athlete. I grew up playing basketball. I coached basketball throughout university as well. And I actually tried to make the basketball team in university, but I was told at the time that I was too tiny and weightlifting really wasn't a thing during my training. So that kind of initially sparked my interest in just getting into weights for myself. Changed my body composition. I always grew up being very skinny, obviously being told I was too tiny to play basketball. So it was a different avenue for me to just focus more on body composition and changing my body to a place where I didn't think I was capable of doing that. So I fell in love with the gym quite early in my university career. And then I fell off of it when I got my designation. In the accounting world, there was a lot of hours that were required to become an accountant. So my health, my fitness, and my goals like that definitely took a back seat until probably my final year, where I realized that my mental health was just not in a good place and I had to start taking care of myself. And I was in school with a bunch of my other girlfriends at the time, and they saw me just making that time for myself, and they were struggling with their schedule and making time for themselves. And they asked me, they're like, hey, can I come train with you? You seem to know what you're doing. I'm afraid of the weight room, but I know that I need to start taking care of myself. Otherwise, accounting is going to take over my life. And just helping them get over that fear of the weight room, helping them find that balance while they were working a crazy job. It was very motivating for me to the point where I realized, like, wow, like there's something here that I'm very passionate about in comparison to just doing personal tax returns for people. So that was the gateway into where I am now.
That sounds familiar, Alex. That's how it always sounds. Like, people need help. People always are like, I'm in this place where I have to decide, I have to change something about my life. And this is usually where people try to reach out to. So good for you to finally make that decision to actually do something about it instead of just staying stuck in that accounting cycle.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad that I realized that like super early in my career. Like, hey, even though I spent 7 years doing this, I don't have to do this forever.
So you were accounting for 7 years. So how long have you been coaching now?
So I got my designation in for accounting in 2014, and right after that, November of 2014, I got my personal training certification. So yes, for about almost 10 years now.
So you have CSCS, I saw. You have CPT. What else are you certified in? It seems like you have a bunch of those in your title, but what other
Yeah,
specialties do you have?
a couple years ago, I got my certificate in being a pre and postnatal coach. I'm currently wrapping up to become a physique and bodybuilding coach. I recently got my WNBF Bikini Pro card in June, so I'm definitely more invested on the bodybuilding side of things right now.
You
Do
wear
you have
many
any idea
hats.
who N1 Education is by any chance?
Yes.
You do? Okay. because I was like, how the fuck does this girl know all these things that they teach all the time that nobody has any idea about? And then like this person doesn't really like you haven't been to their course, have you?
No, I haven't.
I
No,
mean,
just following them on social media.
you should save your pretty pennies and come to Colorado and do the biomechanics course. It's well worth every dollar.
Okay.
But yeah, you're so close on the right track of what they already teach you. You're just be like, oh, how'd I know this already? That's why I was like, did you learn this in CSCS? And you're like, yeah. I'm like, why don't they teach that to the people in America? Why does that not happen? Like they're retarded down here.
They don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't teach anything in the CSCS at all.
No, it's a sign of like what I didn't learn anything, basically, is what I look at it as. And then like you're the first person I've seen with one that's like extremely knowledgeable about correct biomechanics. I'm like, how did this happen? Where'd this person come from?
I mean, I
How'd you
think
get
I like,
into oh go ahead, sorry.
no, I was just gonna say, like, I do attribute it a lot to my designations, but I think just as well too, just having that willingness to learn and always just trying to ask questions as to like if I don't understand something, like Googling it and trying to understand for myself. I think in the beginning, that was always my biggest insecurity. And, just having that imposter syndrome to some degree where I didn't have a science degree or a background with that. So I always just, took it upon myself to try to learn and understand versus, just being an echo chamber of what I'm seeing on social media.
That's smart. I don't think most people put that much thought into things. I
No,
mean,
it's usually an echo chamber, like she said. Oh,
yeah,
I
right.
like that. I'm gonna do that. It's like
Yeah.
new shiny toys all the time.
What got you into bodybuilding?
The biggest thing with bodybuilding for me is I grew up always being told that I'm too skinny. I grew up in an Italian household where I ate everything under the sun. I never had like an eating disorder or anything like that. I just always had a fast metabolism and could never really gain a lot of weight. And it made me feel really insecure where one day I was just like hanging out with one of my friends and they were just talking about bodybuilding and like, hey, you should actually compete because I was kind of, seeing some progress within my changes within my body composition and it kind of caught my interest where I'm like, huh, like seeing how some people looked on stage and trying to see if I could do that, but from a natural perspective. And I just always wanted to show people that you can change your body to the point where you want it to be with enough time and effort. And just going from being told I was really skinny, I put on a good amount of muscle, and then I was being told, you're too bulky. Don't get too bulky if you're going to compete in bodybuilding. I realized, like, you know what, you just can't win with people. I just got to do this for myself. And after competing and just seeing the changes that I've made, not just physically, but more so mentally, I just fell in love with the sport.
Is there really such thing as too bulky naturally? Is that a thing?
I've been trying to get too bulky for years. I'll let you know if I ever stumble upon that.
Same. I'm in the same boat. So, and I'm yeah, and I can't say I'm completely natural. So it doesn't work that way, guys. You can try as hard as you want.
I was about to say, do you work with any clients that does? I know a lot of women that come to me. They're always like, "Oh, if I pick up a weight, or if I just look at the weight, I'm gonna get huge. I'm gonna get big. I'm gonna get too bulky, or whatever." Do you deal with a lot of that stuff with the people that you work with?
Yeah, constantly. I'm actually very surprised that it's still a thing, but it very much is. Constantly, I'm hearing that. But then I have people say that, hey, I want to look like you. And then they'll see how much weight I'm lifting. I'm like, believe me, you're not going to accidentally get too big. But it's crazy how much you still see that.
I would.
When you have people like that, and you being a big fan of Kobe Bryant, do you just want to tell them to shut the fuck up and do the work? Like, how hard is that for
All,
you?
all the time. It's very tough because when you work with the a majority of like just female clients, you do have to take a little bit more of a softer approach. But for me, like if I need some tough love, yes, I would love to have somebody like apply that Kobe Bryant mentality to just tell me to shut the F up and, get the work done and stop complaining. But I can't speak that way to the majority of my clients. There's a few, and I like working with those types of clients, but not too many.
If you're one of her clients, she's thinking it. You just don't know she's thinking it. She's not going to say it. She's too nice. But now you know it's out. Cat's out of the bag.
So cats out, yeah.
Busted.
Busted.
I
Oh,
mean,
man.
you can talk to clients like that. I do. I don't censor myself, but you do end up having less to pick from. That's for sure. Probably why
Yes,
you have
absolutely.
40,000 followers and I have 2,000 followers. So
Yeah. How? Me and Alex, we go back. I mean, we talk social media all the time and how to grow and how to make our business grow from that side of things. What's been your biggest growth, or how have you changed your social media to impact your growth? Like what's led to so many followers? I mean, do you think it's just mainly informative stuff? Do you think it's, I mean, you post all the time, which is kind of what we talk about. It's like you have to be consistent with it. But what do you think attributes to such fast social media growth from your side?
I think if we're speaking in terms of Instagram, it is a very challenging app to grow on these days. I've been stuck at 42,000 followers for probably 3 years now, and I'm actually going down where I probably lose like 100 followers a month. So there's a lot of frustration on that app right now, where in the beginning of me, when did I get Instagram? Like for my business was probably around like, yeah, 2015-ish. Growing at that time was a lot easier, just because it wasn't so saturated. And I think Instagram was doing a good job of being Instagram. Now it's trying to be all these different apps. So it's very frustrating because everybody's trying to prioritize the algorithm. And I got caught up in that mentality probably a couple years ago when I started to notice my growth was stalling out. And the last couple years, I've just gotten to the point where I just don't care anymore about trying to grow. I mean, obviously that's why we're all on social media. We still want to see that growth. So it is still there, of course, but as long as I'm helping people, and I'm providing informative content, and it may not get as much popularity as some of the constant booty related workout videos that are constantly posted, I'm okay with that. And I've come to accept that at this point. But in the beginning with growing it, the biggest thing that allowed me to get to where I am now is just constant engagement and engaging with your targeted demographic. So not just engaging with the current followers that you have, but going to certain hashtags of your demographic that you're trying to attract that attention from, and just going to like some of their posts, leaving comments, genuine comments on posts that they share, and just engaging with people who aren't following you, because then they say, oh, this person left a nice comment. Who is that person? They go see your page, and if they like what they see, they tend to follow you.
Alex, just put the
Who would
cake
have thought it
pictures
was so
on there.
simple? Do
Alex, put the cake pictures on there. You were talking
Cake
about
pictures?
it.
Yeah,
So
I know.
so Chris
I've just started OnlyFans.
Oh my gosh. Hey, there's a big OnlyFans controversy going on right now in Missouri. So it's
Oh, really? What's the good old Missouri controversy?
Well, there's a woman that was a teacher that her parents found her OnlyFans account.
Always the teachers.
Yeah, right. Who would have thought? And
with these Americans.
The kids didn't find it. The parents did. So she resigned, obviously. But she was like, yeah, I'm not ashamed of it. I made like $50,000.
She's like, I tripled my income.
Yeah. She's like, I paid all my student debt off. I did this. I did this. I have a car paid off. And I'm like, good for you. Like you probably, yeah. Oh man.
Hey, you don't have to be nude on there. That's just what the common thing is. You could just make people pay to fucking see any pictures of you.
Well, so I think that's where she started. She was just like, I'm not showing my face. I'm just showing other parts of my body. And kids, aren't going to find it, obviously. But kids are smart. They're going to
You know what the biggest moneymaker is?
Toes, feet. Yeah. Largest OnlyFans account is largest grossing earning OnlyFans account was feet.
Anyone has good feet. You don't have to show your face. Just put the feet up there. You'll be good.
Nobody's going to see these dogs. Anyway, sorry.
Right, not me, but anyone else. Do you have any side ventures that you do besides coaching? Since we're just sitting here talking about business ideas.
We got really sidetracked. Sorry.
Yeah, no shit.
Well, I mean, I did have feet on OnlyFans. Just kidding.
Nice.
No.
Nice.
We knew it.
Again, busted. You guys are finding out all my secrets today. I actually really enjoy videography. My husband's a real estate agent, so I kind of help him out with like listing videos and house tours and things like that. So that kind of helps me with making my own videos, but doing other videos like that. We used to do like wedding videos and stuff like that. So videography is just kind of not like a side hustle, but a major passion, I would say.
I feel like the real estate games really changed lately with all the videos and stuff. Like the drones. They're doing a ton of like video walkthroughs now, where instead of it used to be just like, here's the listing, here you go. But now they're getting very creative in the real estate world.
Yeah, it's getting just as competitive
Yes.
with real estate like it is in fitness.
Do you use the drone? You guys have any
Pardon?
drones? You guys use the drones?
Oh, yeah, he just bought a new one. He's
Oh,
always
nice.
upgrading his drones. Yeah.
That's just an excuse. See, when you buy stuff like that, it's like, I'm going to use it for the business. Come on now.
It's a write-off.
Yeah, the
Do you
camera.
do all the editing and stuff too?
I do. Yeah. Yeah. Everything
That's
is
monotonous,
everything.
isn't it?
I mean, it can be at times, but I don't know. I enjoy it so much that it's a nice break from fitness because everything I do is like fitness related. So I find it to be like kind of a nice break. That's my bubble bath, if you will, is editing videos.
Interesting.
That's
I
my
wish I felt
self-care.
that way about them.
That is not how I would characterize video editing ever. No shot.
No, every second I look at it, I go, that's at least a minute of my life that's going to be spent on this thing. Because it doesn't even matter if I do something with every second. It's just that's how long it takes. Like I can't get any faster. Trying. It's not working.
Keep at it.
Keep
at
good luck,
it, she
buddy.
said.
Good luck,
I
buddy.
mean, I don't
That's
know.
all
I'm
good.
pretty
Yeah.
efficient. It's like if I didn't go through and make it look like it's stupid ass karaoke fucking song and make it pop up the important words that I find in each frame, then it'd probably be faster. But I did it one time and then Nathan goes, "Hey, no one else is doing that." And I go, "God damn it. Now I have to do it every single time." Like
All I
awesome.
have to do to get you to do new stuff is just be like, you know what? I don't think anybody's doing that. You should just keep doing that.
Yeah, exactly. That's how stupid I am.
Well, I liked the one that you did yesterday. That was good. About like the new guest that we had coming on the post. That was pretty good. I liked that.
Oh, to showcase so I can brag and maybe get people to watch it. Is anybody watching this live? No.
I don't know. I don't. You have to pull it up. It doesn't show it on me. I can't pull up the screen. So you have to
I have to pull it up?
Well, I mean, I could look, but it's going to take away from the frame that we have right here.
Oh.
I've got 6 different windows. If I feel like
I need more monitors.
I need
don't think
another one.
anybody's
Yeah.
watching.
Oh, great.
I don't think anyone gives a shit.
I'm convincing my wife now that I need another monitor right here.
Yes. You need a whole ass thing. The dude that runs my gym has like a 46-inch TV in the front and then monitors on either side. That's what we need to get you.
Yeah. They make those ones, they're like really big panel ones, and then you flip a TV and it can go anyway. Sorry. Okay.
Do you have some crazy editing computer, Krysten? Is it like some fucking like crazy setup? No?
Just my laptop, but that's my husband's setup in the back.
Oh, okay.
But
It's getting there.
I saw that PlayStation back there. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really
The
working.
husband.
Yeah,
I know, right?
And the Yankees hats. Nathan probably saw those.
Oh,
too.
he's a Yankees fan? I didn't
I don't
see
know.
that.
They're just popular here in Canada because there's nothing else to wear.
I figured the
There's
Blue
nothing
Jays would be
else.
popular.
Are you
Sometimes
guys
it
like
depends on
not
the
hockey
mood.
fans or what?
Not really. He grew
Wow.
up playing hockey. Yeah, I know, right? No, more football, basketball for me, and maybe baseball every now and then. But
That's shocking.
yeah.
How did you get an affinity for the Lakers living in Vancouver? I mean, you guys had a team for a short while. Were you alive then?
No. They just no, I don't even know. I'd never lived close enough to Vancouver when they would play in Vancouver, so I never got a chance to get down there at the time.
Basketball.
So how did you end up liking the Lakers then? You could have picked the Sonics or
I know,
I mean, there's
right?
a bunch of other teams that were, maybe the Nuggets. Just don't
I
know.
think I always grew up like when I was little, just being a big Kobe Bryant fan. So if he ever left the Lakers, thankfully he didn't, I would have like jumped ship and been a new fan of his new team.
So she's like a LeBron fan in hiding.
No. No.
It could have been you would have been a Charlotte Hornets fan almost. Did you know that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was where he got drafted, I think, right? Originally?
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
On draft night he got traded, but yeah.
Yep.
Charlotte, forever cursed because of that trade, probably.
I
Yep.
think they're forever cursed because of that.
They've been bad
Wow.
forever. Like, when is the last time?
No, they were not bad forever. They had Muggsy Bogues, Alonzo Mourning, and Larry Johnson at one point. They were awesome in the 90s.
Did they win?
Doesn't matter.
It does. Winning is what matters.
Shut up, Nathan.
Kobe's got 5?
Yep, 5. Never got
Yeah.
the elusive 6.
Yeah, man, he could have, though. If they'd have let that Chris Paul trade go through, if David Stern.
Or if Shaq wouldn't have been a douchebag.
Yeah, that was pretty. Were you heartbroken as a kid when Shaq left?
I was.
I was, yeah. I mean, obviously, they're such great teammates and their vibes together were, just amazing to watch. So, yeah, it was a little
She
sad.
probably came on the podcast. She's like, "Are we going to talk about training, or are we going to?"
No, we don't talk about training. That's not really. It's not really
The name
thing.
fits
I don't
it
do
pretty well.
research on guests, so I can talk about training with them.
Do you
Pretty
enjoy?
ridiculous.
I have a question. Do you enjoy doing the exercise video demonstrations? Because I feel like I would do more of those, but every time I do it, I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is so boring. I hate doing this, and no one's gonna give a crap about what I'm saying about this exercise. So, do you really enjoy that? I mean, you said you like informing people and helping people, but do you actually enjoy the informative exercise videos?
I do, because I think breaking it down into such layman's terms for people is helpful for them, being you don't realize how much people don't know. Like what seems like common sense to us, it is just so lacking that common practice in the majority of people. So I mean, with my demographic, it is a lot of like newbies, me trying to get people into the weight room, and a lot of people, they just do things so wrong. And I've always loved watching other people give cues that they do when they're lifting, something as simple as, you know, like just rotating your wrists out during a movement or whatever, right? I always found that to be helpful for me. So even though like it may seem like, oh, this is such common sense, it's got to be helpful for somebody, and it typically is.
Yeah. So Alex has his own training app, and he really loves uploading all those videos to his training apps. That's something that you might be interested in, like to do your own training app, to where, or do you have your own training app and people can sign up to watch you do the demonstrations for those beginner people, or is that something that you're interested in at all?
Something eventually
Yeah.
that I'm going to look into. Yeah, already am, but haven't gotten quite there yet.
Yeah, Alex can tell you all the joys of that. Yeah, I was about to say he's probably.
I only have 310 exercises, and I'm not even close to being done.
It's never ending.
It's exhausting because every time I think of a different variation, I'm like, oh, there's no video of that, and I'm like, well, but I'm not doing that right now, so I got to go actually do. Like, there were times I had actual workouts of just making videos, and these are like 30 seconds of repetitions, but I have that many to do. It's like, oh my god, this sucks. And it's like, what do I do? Not load any weight in the video? Do I want to look like I'm not doing anything? Or 50%? Is my ego going to allow me to do 50%? Like, I hate
And by
that.
the time you get done all of them, they're going to be so old that you're going to have to redo all of them in like 5 years, because the quality is going to need to go up. The
Oh, no,
explanations are going to
Don't
change.
say that.
No, you
How
just
dare
ruined his
you.
day. That you
Yeah,
just
what?
absolutely
No,
ruined
that
his day.
YouTube playlist will be there forever, and everyone's gonna love it. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna love that playlist till infinity and beyond.
That is an easy way to get views on YouTube.
I went through and did what like you're talking about, and literally every video in my exercise library has 2 cues for every exercise. So if you can't figure it out from looking and reading the cues, then you have to pay me to help you, I guess. That's just what has to happen.
I think that's fair.
I don't know any other better way, because like 2 cues is a lot, I feel like.
Yeah, you shouldn't need more than that, I think.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
No, Nathan, if you go and watch the good coaches at their seminars, they'll all tell you less is more, especially when it comes to cueing. You shouldn't have to tell them anything.
But the people that overanalyze, they're just like, okay, they'll be sitting underneath the weight and they'll just be like, okay, like this. Okay, what about here? How about here? Is this good? What can I move here? And I'm just like, oh my gosh, just move the weight and then we'll make it better.
You got to explain better what they need to do.
I just show them most of the time. But
I feel like that doesn't really work at all.
Yeah.
Like I do the same thing and it just comes back to bite me in the ass. Like the one thing that N1 does that's really good is if you can give someone a really good setup, the chances of them executing that thing correctly are like immensely higher.
Yeah.
Like it's not even in the same ballpark anymore.
Yeah.
Whereas some things, like when I watch some people do some exercise, like, oh, here's a good question for you, Krysten. What's your most hated exercise in the weight room? Like, what's the thing you hate to see on Instagram the most?
What exercise do I hate to see, or do I hate to do myself?
Both. I guess
Let's go both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's a tough one.
So many to pick from.
I know.
I'm going to keep it to myself. I think I know what she's going to pick, but
I don't know.
Whereas if we had live people, we could take bets.
I know which one I hate to see, but I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, let's start with hate to see. What do you hate? Like when you see someone doing something, it just makes you cringe and you just want to go, oh my God, how can I help this person?
I don't know the name for it. I know it does have a name, but it's when people do the combination of a squat and a deadlift. When they go down and squat and then they go up.
What the hell are those things? I've heard of that. I've seen it.
They have a name.
There's like, I know what you're talking about.
Like a squat clean?
Do they keep it on their back and do it though?
Yes.
They do it's like a good morning squat type thing almost, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's like
That's
you've never seen this, Nathan?
No, I guess I haven't.
Oh, fuck my life.
I'm like,
What are they called? I
like
know what you're talking about.
they have a name. Like
Yeah,
that's
they
an
do have a
actual
name.
So
exercise.
they
Because you'll
squat.
start like ass to grass and you'll hinge up and then
Yeah.
like I don't know.
Do they roll
It's
the bar
very
off their back?
no, they
No, they
keep the
like kind
bar in
of
the place. It's just like a very stripper squatty fucking thing. Like
That
it's
sounds
terrible.
awful.
they kind of
And
like good morning out of the squat, like out of the hole. Yeah.
yeah, they'll like squat down,
So
right?
I
And then
just
they good
squat
morning
then.
it up, kind of,
I
is
agree.
what
Squat
happens.
and then do a
You
deadlift
just do
or
either
do a
one.
good
Yeah. Like,
morning.
why do you have to? What?
That's a pretty good one.
Uh,
So
Yeah.
we'll just put that on the greater umbrella of combination exercises, I think.
Yes.
Because I'm sure you get plenty of women who want to do the curl to overhead press thing while they lunge. And it's like, wait a second. If you can press it overhead, it's not enough weight for you to lunge. So you should probably
correct.
just leave that one out of it. And if you can curl it, then it's probably not enough for you to press.
Yeah.
So those combo exercises, yeah, those suck.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know,
What,
people got
what's
time.
your least
Though.
favorite thing to do?
For me, probably hip thrusts.
Yes, I knew that was going to be one of the answers. Yes, I
Really?
hate. Oh my god, I hate watching those things. I hate watching people do those things. I hate people loading the bar up to the maximum value of those things and just dry humping the whole bar as hard as they possibly can. I'm just like, this is the. I hate Instagram for that right there. Though hip thrust models need to just fall off the face of the world. Stop. Or the
Or
better
they
ones.
just need to learn how to do the glute bridge better instead of doing the hip thrust.
The one that I also hate too is when they lay on their back and they put their feet up on the Smith machine and they press the Smith
Yeah.
machine. Have you seen that one, Alex? Have you seen that one?
I think so. It's like a reverse frog pump thing going on. Like
I'm
I
just
don't even.
like,
Yeah.
stop. That's not how the glutes work. Oh,
No, it's not. It's not how they work at all.
it's not how they work.
It is amazing that sensation-based training became so popular because you can be like, yeah, I feel it working. And I go,
Yeah.
I'll ask people, I go, okay, so when all these other things are happening in your body, do you feel that happening too? And they're like, no. I'm like, so why would you automatically feel this all of a sudden? What are we talking about? Like
Kaz made a good point of that on the table talk. He was careful to point out that like you have to be careful when people say I feel it here, because it's like not always about where you feel it. Is the setup correct for the person that you're training to get them the result that you want biomechanically? And that's
yes.
Oh man, people love. Oh man, I feel this. I feel this is great. I feel it's like okay. Just
Do you
gonna
think
go
you're
over and
so
cry.
into the biomechanics portion because you have to deal with so many beginners and you
Yeah.
realize how bad their form's going to be, so you're just trying to nip it in the bud?
Well, and even just some of the bad information online, like there is obviously a lot of great female content creators and educators, but they're not, they don't stand out all that much sometimes. So a lot of these people and younger females online, they're kind of, going towards some of these younger influencers, and some of the stuff that they're teaching online, it's like, no, right? So I kind of feel like I have this responsibility to just try to educate and like redirect some of the basics and teaching those fundamentals again to a lot of these people who are kind of misguided.
And you are a saint because you've been doing this for way longer than I have on social media, and I gave up after like a year and a half. I'm like, I'm not trying to help these people. I don't care. Like, if you're gonna fall for the okey doke, have fun. Like, because it is, anyone with good information doesn't usually have a big following, and they don't get any credit. And it involves like, yeah, that's why I don't even post stuff. I don't even post anything about workouts anymore because I don't care. Like,
Yeah.
do you want to get results? I can get you results. Then we can talk about workouts.
Yeah, I
But
get that.
even with having like an app that has instructional videos in it on how to do stuff, people do it wrong constantly, and it drives me up a freaking wall. Like, Nathan, do you
Yeah.
ever see do you see people in your gym, Nathan, that do stuff wrong and they just go, how? I've shown you this how many times?
Yes, or not matching tempo, or not doing this or that.
Not paying attention to the details.
It's right there in the. Just click on the video. Yeah, it's a struggle. It's really, really hard. I think because people, they just want to come in, do the work, not think, and go home. Like that's really what it boils down to. Is like, I want to get this done as quickly as I possibly can to feel good about myself, and then leave. It's like, well, that's not training. Then you're just kind of.
Well, it is. It's just you should have a trainer with you to do that.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do it on your own, that's not gonna work.
No.
Krysten, with your clients, how detailed do you get with your programming? Are you like trying to give them tempos and stuff like that? Or is it like, hey, I need you to do this movement cleanly and I need you to get like good amount of reps here and find a decent weight?
Yeah, in the beginning, it's very much like that. Just, get a decent weight, trying to push them to lift a little bit heavier. And then as they progress, trying to introduce different progression models for them to slow down their tempo and changing up just like what they're doing to achieve progressive overload and trying to keep it more engaging for them by switching things up that way. But trying to even get them to film themselves, I find has been helpful because even by them just watching themselves in the mirror, they often don't catch a lot of things the same as they would if they're looking at themselves back on a video. So I found that to be very helpful for a lot of my online clients too.
Getting people to video exercises is not easy. Like, they're like, I'm really struggling with this exercise. And I'm like, well, did you take a video of it so I could see it and help you? No. Okay, well then I can't help you. Like, I can't see it. I can't, if you think you're really struggling bad enough, that's what I tell them. Like, you've got to video it and we've got to at least discuss it. Do you find the online stuff to be more rewarding or less rewarding than the people in person, or which do you like more?
Oh man, I love the in-person. I miss it so much. And I was doing it a lot last year, but then the frustrations that I originally had settled in quickly of the whole rescheduling and canceling and, it kind of throwing off my day where it's hard to do that frequently, multiple hours during the day where I'm like, okay, not worth it.
Yeah.
But I'll do it for like a select few clients. But I do, if everyone was like the perfect ideal client, I would love to do just in-person training all day long.
So you're
You know
not
how you
like,
fix that?
I was about to say, this is okay. Go ahead. Yep, you're good. Go ahead. I know what you're
No.
going to say.
So all you got to do is for your in-person stuff, just charge a premium rate and they'll show up. And then you don't have to worry about it. Like that, you want to talk about the best filter ever? You charge people a lot of money, they'll always be there.
Yeah.
Because I did the same thing. I worked with the general population for, well, I still do a little bit, but 5 years with nothing but general population. And I tell people all the time, I'm like, yeah, people would buy sessions and never show up. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, they never show up. They would literally buy a package of sessions and never schedule them or show up to them, or they would constantly cancel or be late. And then as soon as I like quadrupled my prices, well, that doesn't happen anymore. They go, like, I had a guy tell me today, he's like, I know this is less than 24 hours notice. I'm prepared to lose a session, but I'm sorry that I got sick with one of my clients when I was traveling and I don't want to come in the gym. I'm like, wow, you gave me like 23 hours notice. Like, I'm probably not going to charge you that session. So it's okay.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's interesting when you value your time, which I'm sure you do, and you make that known that you value your time. Now, all of a sudden, other people start to value it as well. And you just get a better product because the in-person stuff, you do get a better result. So I'm going to tell you right now, you need to charge more money.
Yeah. Noted.
Just tell him it's okay.
He tells everyone that. Don't worry. It's okay. But it's because he believes in you as a coach. I guarantee it. He's like, you're probably worth what he's wanting you to charge. Probably.
Well, all of us have the ability to change people's lives and their quality of life. And we're like, oh, it's not worth that much. But yet you can have some shitty ass psychiatrist or therapist that barely does anything for you. And they get to charge that because they went to school. Like, that doesn't make any sense. We do just as much as changing people's lives as they do. And I'm sure you've studied even longer now because you didn't stop when you got done with school. Instead, you're like, oh no, I got to learn even more. Like, I've been learning for the last 13 years. The only people that go to school for that long are what, like doctors and lawyers, right? Like, so it's very frustrating when you think about the amount of time that we put in, and that's what they're actually paying for. Is they're paying for the time and knowledge we've put in to be able to take them less time.
Yeah.
Krysten, we come from a group of people that do not believe in the CSCS very much and very well because we've seen it poorly used here and we've seen it poorly demonstrated, and we don't think it has a great, I don't even know what's the word I'm looking for, Alex. We just don't think it helps people take what they learn and actually apply it to clients. So where do you see the most value out of the CSCS? How do you gain value from it? What do you think is giving you the best outcome from the CSCS, and why do you think it's such a good tool for people? Because we don't have that same viewpoint, so maybe you could convince us otherwise.
No, and I don't think I'm gonna try to convince you because I understand where you're coming from with that. I think for me, it was more so just trying to indirectly have a more of an exercise science background and having some credibility besides like, hey, I Googled, how to do something and I understand what certain things mean, by me having some sort of credential in such a saturated market, it more so just kind of allowed me to feel a little bit more like I belonged in the coaching space. So that's the value that I got out of it. And I think maybe just more so probably a little bit of an ego thing too, just like saying like, hey, I have my CSCS, I don't have a exercise science background, and they're changing that in a few years where the undergraduate degree has to be science based. I have a business undergraduate degree, so it more so just allowed me to feel a little bit more confident, I think. So for other people who do have an exercise science background and are practitioners, yeah, I don't think that it is worth the time and an investment and energy for sure.
Where do you think it struggles the most? Like, where do you think it can be improved upon, or at least made a little bit better, or could be applied a little bit better? Oh. Oh.
I don't know.
Take a timeout, everyone. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Because I just hear a lot of people be like, I know people complaining about it a lot and say it's not it, it's not it, it's not it. A lot of people are moving away from it, but it does get people's foot in the door. It provides coaching opportunities for people. It gives you like the credibility. Because a lot of people that hire in gyms are looking for that CSCS certification, but I just hear people gripe about it all the time about how it doesn't prepare you to be a good coach. So where did you kind of learn the skill of becoming a good coach then, if the CSCS didn't really equip you with that?
Yeah, no, for sure. It was definitely more so like the sport specific side of things that I enjoyed with the CSCS and learning different considerations for like programming for athletes and stuff like that. Obviously, I don't actually apply a lot of that just because I don't work with a lot of athletes who are in, playing basketball or football or anything like that. So a lot of the things that I've learned is not really being applied right now. So for myself, I forgot the question.
You're good. She's just like, you know what? I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna try my best.
That forgettable that she's like, yeah, this
like maybe I'll stumble upon it here. I'm like, nope, it is out of my head.
Where did you get the good? Like, you're a very good coach. Like, you're a good coach. Like, where's the art of coaching? Like, where did you? Is it more because of your background in sports? You said you coached a little bit of basketball, but how did you become such a good coach, or you feel like you became?
I have a guess, coach? Nathan.
Well, I'm just
because she cares.
Yeah, but I mean, there's some good coaches out there that don't care. There's some good coaches out there that don't care.
That's true, but I don't know what I can attribute that towards. Probably, yeah, just from caring. Seeing how many bad coaches are out there kind of puts a chip on my shoulder to try to be better. I get a lot of clients all the time. I try to like listen to their feedback. A lot of clients are like, oh, I worked with a specific coach. I never heard back from them within like 3 days. And, I never got my program right away. And so many complaints and stuff where I would just try to take their experiences and just do the opposite within my own coaching practices. So, just things like that I think might have been helpful, but I don't know. Never considered that.
Be a decent human. Is that what?
Yeah, just care, listen, manage expectations. I think that's the biggest thing that I've learned the last couple of years is just managing their expectations. Especially, they're like, oh, the scale didn't go down. It's like, well, did you eat out? Did you drink? How much Halloween candy did you have? Well, yeah, I had a little more Halloween candy than expected. Okay, that's fine. While that's okay, you can't get upset that the scale didn't go down, getting them to see it from that perspective versus like guilting them and making them feel bad about their decisions.
What made you choose to work with people in their nutrition? Because I saw you post really good nutrition stuff, and I'm like, oh, this person, she's just a sadist. Like, you just really love dealing with the most difficult human beings in the world. Like, because I try to do it. And holy hell, every time I do it, I'm like, I should charge more for this.
100%. Nutrition is an endless battle. Oh my goodness. I don't think it's something that we'll ever be able to fully like resolve or get through to people, but if it can help just one person and change their life, then it's worth it.
Do you have any nutrition clients in America?
I have in the past.
You want to talk about throwing a monkey wrench in things?
I do have one. Where is she? I can't remember where she is. Somewhere in California.
Oh
Can't
yeah, I'm
remember
sure.
where though.
Access to great food. So
Uh-oh.
Exactly.
you guys up there have it way better, where your government like tries to not let you eat shitty food sometimes, but ours is just pumping us full of garbage and getting people to understand that. Oh boy, that's
Have
a
you
fun one.
have you been following Canadian politics
No,
lately?
not really. I don't know. I'm sure it's
No,
not that great,
we
but
don't keep up with old Thibodeau very much. He's kind of not so my
yeah,
cup of
that
tea.
guy. We're not going to talk about that guy.
Let's just say he sounds a lot better than our guy right now.
Oh,
I think they all suck.
I
At least
think
we
we're
can agree on that.
struggling.
Everyone in
yeah.
North America is fucked.
North America's
Yeah.
struggling right now to find
Like,
some leadership.
Maybe
Yeah.
in our lifetime we'll have to flee to Mexico. Wouldn't
Oh
that be
my
some shit?
lord.
Like the cartels are better than the governments.
Oh
Who would
no.
think of that, right?
I've already had friends do that, to be honest. So
But like supplement wise, you guys are regulated way heavier than we are and stuff like that. So I guess I assumed that went into the food portion like it does in Europe, but maybe it does not in Canada. You got plenty of
no, not
fatties
as
there
good.
too.
Yes.
Nice. Okay. Well, then you're struggling with the same issues, I guess. Processed food and what? Am I not supposed to call them fatties?
No,
Am I
it
supposed to be
was just
politically
so
correct?
casual. It was just so casual. The way
Well, because they are. I live in a
know.
fucking country where 70% of the
Oh
people are
my
either
God.
obese or overweight.
I just
Like,
love you're
that's
so
disgusting.
casual. It was like disgust but casual at the same time. Oh, the
Hey,
fatties.
I was a fatty once upon a time. I weighed as much as I do now with absolutely none of the muscle that I have. Okay. So I get it. Easy to do.
You're
I-
allowed to say that then.
Jonathan Goodman had a good one. He said on Twitter today, he was like, eat fast food and nobody bats an eye. Order a salad and they lose their shit. It was just like,
Yeah.
Oh man.
man, that hits you right in the face because that's
The only problem I have with that tweet is that you should lose your shit if you're eating a salad.
Yeah, I
that's
agree,
not fucking
but-
nutrients. Like, what are you doing? Eat a steak. Be
Sure.
a man.
do you have people that
Do
struggle
you
with the
coach
same
like
things?
vegans and vegetarians?
Yeah, what he said.
Sorry, you guys both overlapped there.
I'm
I
sorry,
know.
we suck.
at this. Do you coach vegans and vegetarians? Is that a thing you'll take on?
I mean, I'm not gonna like not coach them, but I
You
do
are
again.
so fucking nice. That's amazing.
Yeah, she's the nicest
Well-
human being I think we've ever had on here. Holy moly.
Easily.
Well, I mean, I can kind of persuade them sometimes because I used to be a vegetarian and I can speak to that where, yes, I know. And it
Why?
wasn't for like, I love animals. I was sitting in my car one
So
day
do I.
and this,
Other
but-
animals eat them, right?
I know, I get all that now. I'm not a vegetarian anymore, but like I was sitting in my car one day and this semi truck came up right beside me and this cow was just staring at me. And I was so sad. I'm like, hey, I can't. I'm done. I'm done
Telepathically
eating
communicating
meat.
with you.
He
Don't eat the
was.
cows.
He was, but I got extremely iron deficient. All of the issues that you would expect from becoming vegetarian, didn't even attempt the vegan thing, and went on iron supplements for like a year. Didn't really improve, maybe a little bit, to the point where I'm like, hey, I need to like start eating meat again. Had a steak once a week. 3 months later, like my iron just skyrocketed.
Nice.
So like being able to like speak to that, how I like brought me back to life, just energy wise, it kind of can sometimes like help a lot of the vegetarian and vegan people I work with to realize like, hey, like there are going to be some trade-offs if this is the diet that you, for whatever reason, need to adhere to, but they're tough. Like getting them to consume enough protein, lean protein, while trying to like lose weight, it's next to impossible sometimes.
How we struggle with that too, like convincing people that they need to eat adequately, showing them their amount of calories that they need sometimes, the amount of protein that they need. How do you fight that battle of like, hey guys, I know you want to lose and your lose mentality means you think you need to eat less, but actually you're not even eating adequately. So we have to get you to adequate. How do you fight that battle with people?
Cool. I have to consistently repeat the message, trying to get them to understand like, hey, protein has a higher thermic effect of food. It's going to help you build more muscle, which is going to help you lose weight indirectly. Like you need to eat more protein. And after saying that enough, maybe 10 times each week in their first 10 weeks of their check-in, sometimes it starts to click. But it's an endless thing that I just constantly have to communicate. It's hard. Like I'll try to find different ways to communicate it so that they understand, but just repeating that message constantly, eventually the light bulb comes on.
Do you have a threshold of just like, if people don't track or they don't log or they're not doing what you need them to do you have a threshold where you're finally just like, I'm done with you? Because you are a nice human being. We've established that. But like, do you ever just be like, kick them to the curb and just like, you're not getting
people.
Yeah. Are you not getting the message? Like you gotta find the point of no return here. I feel like.
I have fired people, yes. But it wasn't due to an adherence issue. It's more so just due to the lack of accountability that they want to take and pointing the finger elsewhere all the time, and often pointing the finger at me as to why they're not seeing the results that they're looking for when they're not showing up and trying. But if people aren't like tracking their macros or they're not adhering to the program, we'll go to the drawing board and try to implement something that feels more sustainable for them. Maybe trying to, I hate this word, but utilize like an intuitive eating approach. I've heard my friend Sarah say,
don't use that word. It's the
I've
worst. There's no fucking such thing. Because if I intuitively
I know.
I'd have a box of Girl Scout cookies every day.
I agree.
What does that mean? Can you explain that to me? I'm dumb. I don't know what intuitive eating is. What's intuitive eating?
I have a friend who, another coaching friend, she's used the term informed eating. So I kind of like that a little bit more, where they're just kind of, a little bit more mindful. Like, okay, if I can't track for whatever reason, I have to ensure that I'm getting a serving of protein into each meal that I'm having, making sure that I get 2 to 3 servings of fruit a day, 2 to 3 servings of vegetables, and, maybe drinking 5 shakers of water, like really just pulling back those onion layers and going back to the basics for some of those people who, for whatever reason, just can't track. But again, managing those expectations, like, hey, if for whatever reason you can't track and you would rather adopt this informed eating approach, the results probably are going to be a lot slower. If you track, you're going to see those results a lot quicker, right? But it's tough to kind of get that message across all the time.
Alex, you had a good tweet today. Can't make progress in the areas you don't track data in. So kind of goes back to that.
Thought lately, is there a reason you should not track what you're eating? Like, should you not have any idea of what you're putting in your body? Like, you only get one of these things, and
just
the shit
mentally,
you put into it is going to be like the best thing for you is to at least know. Like, it doesn't have to be super strict, but like, even if you're just eating, you should probably like have an idea. I would think, like, it's a nice luxury that we have.
Yeah, I totally agree. I find though, sometimes when some people will start off tracking and then they're like, oh, this isn't for me, it's not working. And we've tried all avenues. They adopt the informed eating approach. And that often doesn't always work, because even though they think they know how much protein is in a serving without tracking, they don't. And eventually they don't know. Like, I've had somebody before saying like, oh, or is how many carbs are in a block of cheese? I'm like, okay, you need to track. None. Exactly. But then I find like once they've like experienced the informed eating approach, they'll be like, okay, let's try the tracking macros again. Let's give it another shot. I think, we need to go back to that approach. So we can kind of get them to go back to it. But I totally agree with you. Like, we track our finances, we track our time so we don't, miss meetings. We track finances so we don't go bankrupt, track our mileage on the car so we know when to change the oil. Why is tracking our food so different?
Because we don't want to. We're in denial. It's just
back to the cow thing real quick. Did you know that's not a wild animal? That's a fucking thing we made to eat. So whenever someone says, I don't want to eat a cow, dude, we made them for that purpose. Just we made dogs to be our friends.
I totally get that. And I'm just going to agree with her. When you go see them as like baby calves, if you go look at a baby.
Animals, but they know they're being sacrificed.
I know, but they look at you and you look at them and you're like, that thing is a cute son of a gun,
Yeah, well, it is cute, but it's also it's here to be our food.
I was like, if I don't ever have to kill it, I'll eat it, but I don't have to. If I have to kill it, no, I couldn't like raise my own cow and then slaughter it. I couldn't do that.
Another fun fact about repeating yourself: you have to say something a minimum of 7 times before somebody gets it. So go ahead and just adjust your expectations for that.
There you go. Thank you. That makes me feel a lot better.
She's like, great.
You won't get anywhere near as frustrated because you're like, it's only been 4 times. Okay, we got a ways to go.
I'm going to start tracking that.
I'm telling you, when you have that expectation for it, you're like, I just got to say it a few more times.
I think I'll just write clients' names on my wall and just start putting tally marks in chalk every time I say it, and then I'll know.
Then they'll know too. And
no, but then they'll look at it and they'll go, "What's that for?"
What's that?
No, don't worry about it. Don't.
You should just put topics on there and then write their name under the topic as the column, and then tally them every time they ask you a stupid question about the topic.
I'll do it on my marker board. I'll put it on my marker board.
Yeah,
that's good. Yeah.
I like that.
Or just put a gold star so they feel a little better about themselves a little stick.
Don't want to not until they learn it. They get a gold star when they don't ask the question ever again.
Yeah.
Throw them a party.
or they can answer the question. Right? Like if it's the same question you've had to repeat so many times, write the question on the board and then put tally marks next to it every time they ask it to you. And then once they finally stop asking,
I like it. Yeah.
And you can ask them, they get a gold star.
Love that.
I love that.
Positive reinforcement there.
Hand out the gold stars right away. You got to earn that.
Positive reinforcement. Nice job.
How do you like to make people create new habits? Do you like to treat them like a dog and like give them treats, or like what's your go-to?
Oh man, no, I definitely don't like treating them like a dog.
I mean, if you train a dog, like if you train a human like a dog, it's pretty effective. I'm not gonna lie. The principles are pretty similar.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't mean it as in like a disparaging way, but like reward systems, things like that, showing them who's boss, like all these things kind of, carry over. Sorry.
That's fair. I think breaking it down can be helpful for them too, right? Where they have to understand like what their why is. So I'll do something in the beginning weeks with them where I get them to create an identity-based goal. It's like, why are you doing all of this? Like, why do you need to track your macros? Why do you need to go to the gym? And it has to be something identity related. Well, it's to be an athlete, it's to be a healthy person. Once they know like what their identity is, whenever they go to make a decision, asking themselves, well, is this what a healthy person would do? Is this what an athlete would do? If the answer is yes, great, go do it. If the answer is no, you need to reevaluate what you're about to do. And I find that can be helpful with just setting that groundwork for them with creating new habits.
That's a great idea.
Nathan,
you should try that.
Yeah, I was sitting here literally as people were coming to my mind as I was thinking about that. Like,
because I do that to people, but they'll tell me their goal, and then I'll tell them what the expectation is for them to reach that goal, and then they'll have to be like, "Oh," I'm like, "Well, like I have a person who wants to deadlift 700 pounds," and I went, "Hey, at some point, you don't get to be the weekend warrior anymore. You got to actually like just be the athlete because you're not going to pull that kind of weight just for fun."
Yes.
And then they're like, "Oh, this is different than what I anticipated it was going to be." Like, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It's always usually more work than people expect it to be.
Always.
They're like, I'll go to the gym, I'll sign up for the training, I'll do that, and then it's like, oh, the weight will just magically fly off. It's like, I wish I could give that to you. But
I lost 20 pounds in 4 months without even trying.
Oh yeah. You weren't doing anything to try to lose that weight.
I mean, I really wasn't. I just stopped eating like a fucking asshole. That was literally all I did.
But you had to create habits nutritionally that led to the result.
No, I just had to not give in to my addiction. It's pretty simple.
Well, most people can't do that, Alex. That's why we have jobs.
Yeah, I guess. But it's like I was just stuffing my fat face too much, and I wasn't tracking, so I didn't know. And then as soon as I started tracking, I was like, "Oh, this is bad." And I'm like, "Well, we just got to cut this down." And then when I'm sitting around doing nothing, thinking about food, I'm like, "Well, you're not hungry, you idiot. You have an addiction problem. So this is what you're addicted to." So,
did you like replace that addiction with something else?
No, I work out every single day. Like, there's no way that, like, no, I just
that
have
was the new
addictions.
addiction.
Yeah, that's not new. It's just, I know how to operate with it.
Krysten, this is Alex. He has a problem. It's called he doesn't leave the gym for more than 10. He's always there every day, 24/7.
I mean,
unless the Red Rock shows are in
here. I'm like, yeah, pretty much. First one in, last one out, basically.
Love that.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Some people will tell me like, "Oh, your Instagram's so curated." I'm like, it's not curated. That's literally just what I do. I go work out, and then I go and eat, and then go and work.
They think you're an influencer. All you need, you're just booty pics away from being an influencer at this point.
Do you have like your tripod and everything and like your gym bag?
I don't have a tripod. No. I have this sweet, awesome case that I just, props my phone up.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. And then I just use a stool and, so
I do the whole water bottle thing.
Yeah. Well, at least use the right camera. Everyone uses that stupid front facing camera all the time. And I'm like, that's the crappy one. Why are you doing that?
Yes.
You're ruining your own quality of videos. And then when I tried to do them in 4K, boy, my phone did not have enough space for that. That lasted about like 3 days. And it's like, out of space. I'm like, oh, son of a bitch. So no 4K videos for Instagram yet. Plus, editing them on my computer in 4K is not fast enough for that.
We know how much you love video editing, so.
Oh, well, so because of the way I do the stupid subtitles, like I'm going to have to do for this one, I have to get it right when you're about to say the word. And when it's in 4K doing that, It's too fast. It doesn't. My computer is a little retarded, so it doesn't really work that way. If I had, one of those fancy editing computers at the media place, maybe. But yeah, that's rough. Yeah, no, but I am that idiot that filmed everything I do. Everyone's like, "What do you do for content?" I'm like, "Document my life." I'm like, thanks, Gary V. That's
I was
literally
just gonna
best
say
advice.
the Gary V model, nice.
Yeah, see, you get it. This is why she's
it.
successful, Nathan, because she follows really smart people.
Don't have to
Nathan
tell
just
me.
doesn't believe me because I'm not as successful yet. So he's like, yeah, whatever, shut up.
Oh, you don't have to tell me. She's way more successful than you. I get it.
Yeah. This is all the guests I find are just people that do the shit that I do. I'm like, look, this is my confirmation bias.
I think that's the whole point. You just bring them on to be like, dude, I've been telling you this crap for freaking forever now. Just listen to this human being. And I'm like, I get it. I get it. I get it.
Yeah, but it's for the 2,000 people that follow me, not just you, because they don't listen to me either. That's why I started making those posts of what not to do, because I bet they'll listen to that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. People don't like to be told what not to do because then they just want to do it.
Well, that's why I say it's the top 3 things to do to get this result. And what they do is they have to infer what it is to actually do to get the result. So then they feel like they came up with it on their own, Nathan.
Ooh, look at you. This guy's a genuine psychologist, people. Look out.
Reverse psychology. There you go.
I mean, I'm trying here. I got shadow banned, so I got to do everything I can. Like, it makes me
there
feel
it is.
better that the person with 40,000 followers has just a hard time as I do reaching people when I'm shadow banned.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's because, lifting is all toxic and everything now, or the government has decided that people that lift and train and want to be healthy and things like that are toxic people to society. So
they've always
I
known
was
that.
shadow
You can't
banned for
control
a
people
bit.
that think. Were you? What'd you do?
I think. Well,
Do you know how to check?
Yeah, not anymore. So we're good. But
Were you posting political stuff?
Of course, the last couple of
Nice.
years were fun. So
yeah,
That's
what was
one way to put it. Fun.
How was Canada? How was Canada during COVID time? Because I just saw news stories and things like that, but it did not look like to be a very fun time when COVID was around.
No, it was not fun. We're still dealing with vaccine pass. Can I say that without getting banned?
You can say whatever you
say
want.
whatever you want.
We're still dealing with some passport related stuff here in British Columbia, where we are right now. There's other.
Literally punch somebody. I would be so mad.
Oh yeah.
So what keeps you in Canada then?
I don't know. I mean, my husband been asking ourselves that a lot lately.
That's fair.
Well, I mean, where we live is amazing. Like, we love
Right.
the city where we currently are at right now. We're established here.
Except for there's a crazy person that lives there from what I saw in your story the other day when you were watching Netflix.
That was my hometown. I don't live there anymore.
Okay. That's not where you live. All right. Well,
no, I live 8 hours away from there. So we're good. I'm safe.
Fair enough.
It's more so for all the people I've left. I'm like, hey, people, be careful.
That literally almost made me watch that documentary when I turned on Netflix. I was like, hey, this is what she was talking about.
Yeah, a lot of people watched it after that. But no, I don't know what keeps us here. Like, I think hope still as well too, that things are going to change, but I don't know. It's hard to say. I have my Italian citizenship, so if things do take another turn, not easy,
I guess
but
Italy
there's
is the only
options
place
to
in
leave.
Europe that's going the right direction. I'm gonna say I'll see you in Florida in a couple of years, so that'll be cool.
Well, I was debating Florida a lot.
As is everyone here, I feel like. But
yeah.
Right? That's this United States of Florida. That's it. That's what we're gonna
exactly. Like, you just turn the page on every day and you're like, or the news on, you're like, oh, yep, that looks a little better. I'll go there.
Yeah.
Nathan, the guy that's coming on Saturday, he was my coach during COVID, and I was telling someone here about how bad it was in Australia and what I just quoted what he said. I literally lost a client over it because they didn't believe me.
What?
Like, what? Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
This is fascinating.
Because of COVID stuff?
Yeah. Because like in Australia, it was like they were putting you in camps. That's what they were doing to you.
Wow.
And like I was trying to explain this to someone. They're like, oh, that's not true. And I'm like, okay, I just have somebody that lives there that's explaining this to me. But yeah, that's not true.
I think the biggest one I remember from Canada was they had the big trucking strike, right? Like there was a big trucking strike that happened. And
those guys were awesome. And then, Mr. fucking Fidel Castro's son had to be a real dick.
Yep. That was pretty amazing actually when that happened. They're still kind of dealing with like the trials of that right now. So kind of following along loosely with that.
Anyone would be on trial for that. It's still so disappointing.
but that's what, kind of took a turn for our country, definitely gave us hope again that, hey, you know what, there's still people here in Canada who have some balls left. So it was really nice to see.
Yeah, more than America.
I was about to say, do people actually still support him, or can you get him out, or what's the?
Nathan, have you not seen what's been happening with our recent election yesterday and the voting machines flipping votes? You think that doesn't happen in Canada?
How do the elections work in Canada? I don't even know. He's prime minister, but what are their term limits and things like that?
Oh, well, he's been in office for, I think this is his fourth term now, and he can keep going as long as people keep
There's no
electing
term
him.
limits?
No.
Oh,
I
dear
don't think
God.
so.
Never would I live in a country where that would happen. I'm sorry.
Nathan, our president right now is on his third term. What are you talking about?
Third term?
He just has a dummy. Yeah, it's Obama. It's Joe Biden is not our president. You fucking idiot.
I mean, I get that, but
the best part is he's in an interview saying, yeah, if I could just find someone to, stand in for me and I could just sit in the basement and make all the decisions, I would totally do that. And nobody wants to believe that's what's happening.
Well, at least Trump got a 4-year run, and he's probably going to get another 4-year run. So
no, the voting machines will never allow that to happen again.
Hey, but didn't think so the first time either, buddy. And look what happened.
Because they didn't rig them the first time.
We'll see.
Don't you think it's a bit suspect that you can give away all of your valuable personal information via the internet, but you can't cast a vote for who you want to see in the Oval Office?
Yeah, it's a little alarming. I agree.
Wonder why that would be. Oh,
yeah,
because they fucking have it rigged. There's literally a documentary from 20 years ago. Diebold was a company that made the machines, and they've always had a second party access that you could tap into.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, I've seen that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, it's not crazy.
Well, I mean, it is crazy that it happens, but it shouldn't be.
Why? Yeah. The richest people in the world can do whatever the fuck they want. What are we going to do?
We're going to move to Canada. I mean, not move to Canada.
Don't come here.
Not moving to Canada.
She goes, please no, don't come here. Save yourself.
Save yourself. Take me with you.
It sounds like you got the escape card to Italy, Sydney.
Yeah, there you go.
People that are telling everyone else to fuck off.
Yeah, that's kind of the backup plan if things kind of go sideways again, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. You never know anymore, right?
Do you have a client? Do you have a client base there? Could it be an easy transition for you?
It could be for me, absolutely. The majority of my clients are online, and a lot of them aren't where I live locally.
Nice.
But the issue would be for my husband and him in real estate, so him and having to start over again with doing that. So
well,
it'd be tough. But
you just found your reason to start charging more. There you go. There it is.
Exactly.
Reasons, but
don't worry, hubby. I got you. I'll take care of you.
What's your best tip for getting clients online?
For getting clients online?
Yeah. Is it just because of your super helpful videos, you think? Is that most of it?
Consistent content, 100%. I get people who will send an application where they'll be like, I've been following you for years and I'm finally ready. I love all your content and everything that you teach, and I'm finally ready to work with you. Takes a little bit longer when you're, not really harassing people in the DMs like a lot of coaches do on social media. But I find that, just that consistent content is where, people come in.
20 a day, Alex. You can only harass 20 people a day. Remember? Okay.
No, you can. The Instagram will fuck
I know.
With you.
That's what
I know.
So
that's
you
so
got to
funny.
do the story reactions. That's what I have a pyramid scheme. If they respond to my story reaction, then I'm like, okay, well, here's a segue to maybe say something. But
that's what I do as well. Yeah.
To feel it out, if you just go, hey, how's it go? They're like,
that's so
person?
Yes.
God, I hate that.
It just goes to your hidden request and you don't even know it's there. I wonder how many people I've done that to, and it just didn't happen. I'm like, shit, this isn't working.
Yeah, that's a painful.
Yeah, so Nathan, when I'm posting 8 fucking reels a day, that's only part of the process, okay?
Yeah, my DMs are blown up with all those reels of the podcast now. It's just
I give you free content to repost and you don't repost it. I don't know what to tell you. You're not making it. I am.
All I gotta do is click send. I gotta do it. Just keep click send. People are going to be like, is this your Instagram page or your podcast promotion? What are we doing here? It's both.
Do you schedule your posts, Krysten, or do you do them are you posting them yourself? Because I tried to use the scheduler in Instagram because I pay like an idiot for the check mark. And part of that is you get to schedule things allegedly, but you can't schedule more than 5. And then good luck getting it to work half the time because it just goes Can't upload now. Waiting for better internet connection. I have the fastest fucking internet connection you can have in the city. Like, it's literally a gigabyte download and upload speed. I don't understand how much faster it needs to be for 50 megabyte video. What are we doing? So, but is there like an app that you use to do that, or are you just like me and I have timers set throughout the day, so I hear 6 different alarms when I need to post something?
I will plan out my post. Like I just write out my post in my notes, and then I know that I post every morning when I'm done at the gym. So it's just kind of part of my morning routine where I'll just go and post it when I'm ready. But I don't use the scheduling one. I don't even know if I can schedule because I don't have the check mark. So I don't know if they let us second class citizens do that.
I don't think they do.
You don't have the check mark?
$15 a month.
No, I was gonna do it, but I have a very stubborn mentality where I like to do the opposite of everyone, and everyone jumped on that game, that jumped on that
This is
bandwagon
why
really
I
quick.
picked you. This makes way more sense then.
And
I'm
I
the
was
same
like,
way.
you know what? I don't know the benefit of using the check mark. I'm sure there's a lot of benefit, and maybe I'm an idiot for not using it, but I'm like, I'm just not going to use it for a
Well,
little bit.
if you
I always can eventually.
if you read what it gives you, it's just like, really? That you're taking my money for this? What? No.
You know, I'll probably upgrade my Twitter one so I can use their fucking robot.
It's a good idea.
Because I use ChatGTP all the time. And if you don't use ChatGTP yet for your business, you definitely should. It is amazing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Anytime there's something you don't want to do, let it do it. And it'll be, you're like, oh, cool. Now I'm done. Like mine makes my whole newsletter for me. I don't want to write a newsletter.
Yeah, that's fair. I haven't looked into it yet.
It's a time saver. It's like your own personal assistant.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like you could have it make your Instagram schedule for you. Because you can be like, what's the best time I need to post this type of content? And it'll like map out everything for you. And then you just fill in the blanks.
Oh, damn. Okay.
It's pretty fancy.
Yeah, that seems worth it.
The one on Twitter is going to be even better because it's connected to the internet live and it'll use all of Twitter to research too.
Oh, cool.
Jeez.
Damn, Elon, you're doing it big.
Good job, Elon.
What a time.
What's the whole posting thing? Do you use reuse content a lot? Sorry, Nathan.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I'll reuse content. I think, not everybody always sees like a banger post, right? You get new followers, or some people missed it, or you're shadow banned and Instagram doesn't want to show it to everybody. So sometimes it's nice to reuse content, and that way people can see your previous posts. Or sometimes you're just lazy. It's like, I don't feel like doing a post today. We're still going to apply the Gary Vee method and still do a post every single day. So that's when, repurposing content can be helpful.
I'm up to 8 posts a day. So,
jeez.
Damn.
He's flooding the market right now. I'm just like,
that's awesome.
Trying to get through Alex's story right now. I feel like,
oh, dude, the stories have gotten a little out of hand even for me. I'm like, what am I doing? And I'm like, just keep going.
Dude, you know who's are bad? Khalil, because he's got so much time on his hand, and it's just like the strip of stuff.
Most of his are shared random things.
No, I know, but it's just like
pertaining to him or training. It's just like, hey, this is funny.
I have to click it though. I have to click it.
Oh, yeah. Do you do that? Do you have to get rid of all the circles at the top? Are you OCD like that?
Yes.
Oh, thank God.
I hate it.
Oh,
it's annoying. And then you refresh it, you got 30 more. Oh.
Yep.
15 minutes of my morning is just getting rid of those damn circles.
Yes.
I know. It's the worst. I hate it so much. Damn Instagram.
Makes my brain hurt.
Yeah.
What's the
I wish
next?
I was better at the other social media so I could focus on them more, but I figured I just now learned Instagram. I can't shy away now.
Oh, so what's the next step in your career, Krysten?
The next step in my career, I'm actually
Italy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here. That's the next step. No. I don't know. I just want to keep doing what I'm doing, but just keep doing it better. Always just trying to just be a better communicator, a better educator, always learning, staying on top of everything, never being a complacent. I recently just built a nutrition course. I eventually want to do a pre and postnatal course. That's obviously going to happen when I go through that journey myself. So who knows when that'll happen. But those are the biggest things that I've been focusing on right now. But yeah, just keep doing what I'm doing, but just bigger and better.
What did you use to build this course?
I was about to say that. Yep. That sounds daunting.
It's it's a course based around how to be your own nutrition coach. So a lot of people who don't want to hire a coach, or maybe they don't struggle with the accountability side of things, but maybe they don't know how to calculate their macros, how to adjust their macros based off of their goals. I have a 10 module course that has been that answers all those questions. So how to actually track your macros and determine your macros, maintenance calories, deficit calories, making this a lifestyle. And I just took the time to write all the material. I filmed all the videos and just uploaded my course on my website. And yeah, that was like maybe a 3-year process. And I just launched it in September.
Holy moly. Did you use like a specific software to create the like layout and stuff so you could upload it to your website, or how do you go about doing that, or is it just like a bunch of PowerPoints and Word documents?
Yeah. So I did it in PowerPoint, and then I created an ebook like breakdown of each module. So I use Squarespace, and they have like this membership feature add-on, so I can just like upload all of my videos within this add-on on my website. So it's like primarily built around how to create your own courses. So yeah, it was a pretty cool add-on that Squarespace recently upgraded to.
3 years. Wow.
That could be passive income for the rest of her life. Was it really that bad of an investment?
No, actually, it's going well so far. A lot of people registered for it.
Having such a poor mindset.
No, I'm just saying
lazy over
how
here.
much of she has to be. You're a complete perfectionist. I feel like man, wow, that's dedication. Good for you. Holy cow.
Thank you. Yeah, it was kind of fun. It was a different way to like just take all my knowledge and like share it in a different way and not be held accountable towards like people's progress. It's like, hey, here's the info, but you're responsible to execute on it. Go.
That's brilliant, because it's like that, like you said, that's the hardest part with people most of the time. So
totally.
Here,
now, if you want to sell it to even more people, take everything you wrote and put it in ChatGTP and tell them to write it for a 3rd grader.
That's a good idea.
I'm not even joking. Most people can't read above a 3rd grade level. So if you really want to make it super accessible.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's a good idea. Okay. Thank you.
If you need a revision time.
Yeah.
But then you don't actually have to revise it.
How much?
You never know.
How much is 199 Canadian? What's that in United States dollars?
Probably like $150 or $250.
Dollars really bad.
I was looking at the course. It just looks interesting. Holy cow. Yeah,
that's super cheap.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
3 years of your time and you only charge $200 for it. It's nice of you.
It's nice of me. Well, it's a volume thing too, right?
Well, that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what's the nutrition course it in one cost? $1,200?
You can get both courses and the practical for $3,500, I think.
See, way too low.
Way too low. I mean, I'm not going into like the Krebs cycle or anything like that in my course. It's very basic stuff for a lot of people who just don't know how to track their macros. But all the stuff that we know, again, common sense information to us, not so common sense to other people.
I think, man, yeah. I think a lot of people actually are looking for this, because you hear a lot of people like, I don't know how to weigh my food, or I don't know how to like count my this, or I don't know how much protein's in this serving. Like you hear a lot of that stuff. So just basic stuff that they can, so yeah, this is brilliant. Yeah, this is really.
And since you're such a good salesperson, Krysten, what is the website that people can go to get this course?
thenattyhour.com.
There we go. So the 4 people that watch this video on YouTube, maybe one of them will buy it.
Hey, come on now. 37, and we're a hit in Egypt. Come on.
Well, yeah, top 26 podcasts in Egypt. Like, what? How much sense does that make? Okay, cool. I mean, I always wanted to see the pyramids, I suppose.
That's our first live podcast. We're going to go to, or like first on-site podcast. We're going to go to Egypt. We could do it on Camelback by the pyramids.
I don't know that would be a good move right now.
No, it's not the place to be. No, the Gaza Strip is not where you want to be.
A little close to all that, proxy war stuff that's going on.
Oh, yeah. Bad stuff.
Yeah.
Could always be worse.
Maybe when they move it back up to the Ukraine, we can fucking head down there.
People forgot about Ukraine. It's over with.
Yeah, for now. Don't just wait a little bit. They got to spend money somewhere else at some point.
Wait, they haven't forgot about Ukraine and Canada? They're like the biggest supporters?
Oh yeah, there's Ukraine flags everywhere on everybody's vehicles. Oh yeah. It's very, yeah. Well, our government keeps giving money every other week. I think last week.
Yours too? I thought it was just our dumbasses that kept doing that.
No.
Man, I want to be part of the group that uses the government to launder money. How do I get in this club? If anyone of you ever hears this podcast, I can be an asshole too. It's okay. Like, let me in. I just want like a little side gig here. Like, they have so much money. It's like trillions and trillions of dollars they're funneling through governments to give to fucking themselves. It sounds awesome.
Government wouldn't do that?
What are you talking about? Yeah, they would. They've always done that.
Sarcasm.
Like
sarcasm.
I'm not going to go down this road.
No,
anyways,
don't
moving
do
on.
Don't do it.
Yeah. So, do you still like the Lakers? Are you still a basketball fan?
I haven't watched basketball much since.
Because you seem to hate LeBron, so I was just curious if the Lakers were still a thing for you, or.
No, not really. In 2020, that was like a Cinderella story where they won, obviously, the year that Kobe Bryant died. So that was pretty amazing. But since then, I haven't really watched a whole heck of a lot of basketball. Kyrie Irving, I would say, is probably my go-to player right now.
No.
But
you should watch the Nuggets if you actually like watching basketball. Just
Kyrie Irving?
Completely honest. Yeah.
Why not?
He's a flat earther. What?
I mean, that's the one slight against him is that he's a flat earther. Other than that, he's pretty spot on with the shit he says, even though he sounds crazy.
I didn't know he was a flat earther.
Yeah, he's a flat earther. Yeah.
It's kind of
his only
another guy. There's another guy, I can't remember his name, who's like on the same page with stuff like that. I can't remember his name though, another basketball player, but
yeah, they all suck.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
No, I haven't watched much of it lately.
Are you competing anytime soon?
No. So I competed in June and I'll be taking like probably a good 3 years off from competing if I ever compete again.
Why did you take 3 years
she
off?
Has a 3 year span. 3 year span. Hang on. Her life revolves around 3 year periods now. We get it. Okay. So this she's going to make another course in this 3 years and then she'll go back to anyway, sorry. Carry on.
Well, I mean, the biggest thing with natural bodybuilding is getting that stage lean, especially as a female. It takes a big toll on your body and hormones, right? You know, a lot of females go through the female triad. I never experienced my menstrual cycle being lost or anything like that, but that does happen quite a bit. So when you're being like, I think my body fat percentage was around like 10% body fat, which is pretty low for a female, right? So like to recover from that, I'm still technically recovering since June. So my off season technically hasn't started until like maybe January. So, you know, I also want to build some muscle. Natural bodybuilding is like watching paint dry, and I don't know. We'll see. It takes a lot out of you too, like the time commitment to compete. It's not something I like to do every single year, even though a lot of people do.
I got a question for you. As someone who's probably never going to use the drugs, how much do you think they help?
How much do I think drugs help?
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends. I don't know too much about it, but I know that it does make a big difference. But you still have to work extremely hard. Actually, there was this really great post by this natural bodybuilder the other day where he talked about how it's like farmers using like soil and other farmers who are not using soil. You still have to know how to use the chemicals and like how to process everything properly. You can't just like take drugs and think they're going to get jacked. You still have to have good genetics. You still have to put in the work with managing your sleep, your stress, your hydration, protein, training adequately. Like, you know, you still have to work really hard. So they do help, absolutely. But I don't know, probably a lot, but not as much as maybe everybody thinks that it does.
Not even close, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It'd be cool, but they're not the magic pill everyone thinks they are. That's why I was curious.
Yeah.
Like in a lab setting, for example, if you had to guess a percentage of difference in performance that they make, what would you think it is?
In performance?
Yeah. Because that's what they were designed for originally. It was performance.
For sure.
It wasn't just the physique was just a coincidence.
Exactly. Maybe like 10%, 20%. That's just like me flat out guessing.
10 would be the highest. It's like 7 to 10%.
The highest?
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
So I was just curious because people do make these excuses all the time when no, you're just not working hard enough. Like, and And like what you're talking about with natural bodybuilding, so physiologically, what you have to do with natural bodybuilding is you guys have to just work twice as hard.
Well,
Is
I
what
mean, I don't even
sucks
know.
because go ahead.
I don't even know if you have to like work harder. I just think that you suffer a little bit more because you don't have like certain things to help mitigate and manage your hunger and like being lean and still having that energy. So maybe you have to work a little harder, but I feel like you just suffer a little bit more.
Yeah,
If that makes sense.
from the neurological standpoint, because your performance
Yes.
increases so much, your
Yeah.
intensity drives way higher on drugs than it does naturally. So you do end up having to do like literally twice as much work naturally as you would on drugs. That's
Hmm.
the thing people don't understand. They think
Yeah.
that it's just a magic recovery pill. Well, since you perform better, you end up actually just driving the stress up
Mm.
even higher than you normally would. So your recovery ends up being probably a net zero because people aren't
Ah.
taking that into consideration. Like, really, when you do the drugs, you should be doing less work than you would be naturally. And then, like, so for females who don't have the cross sectional musculature like men do, you
Hmm.
literally do have to do twice as much work in the upper body. And then, so if you add the drugs in for a woman, that means now they're not having to do as much of that upper body work. Right. And they can probably balance it out better. But chicks always want to do legs 3 times a week and upper body once. And I'm like, should probably be the other way
Yeah.
if you want to
100%.
have upper body musculature.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, that totally
yeah,
makes sense.
that's fair. But how much supplements do you take? Or is it all just from your food?
No, what do I take for supplements? Creatine monohydrate. I'll take a pre-workout on some heavier days. Multivitamin, fish oil, vitamin D. That's about it that I take for supplements. Whey protein.
You don't take any magnesium?
Yes, I do. I do
Yeah.
take magnesium as well. Yep.
How many calories do you normally eat? Like what's maintenance for you?
Right now, my maintenance are around 2,400.
And we're so close to being the same. It's disappointing for me.
Gasp. Gasp. 2,400 calories. Oh my god.
And
I
what
told
do
you
you
I
walk
had a
around
fast
at body weight
metabolism.
wise? You
Right
like
now, I'm
120
sitting,
pounds?
yeah, around 118 pounds right now.
Gasp.
Yeah.
Gasp. Yeah. Screw
Any of
you,
my female clients,
influencers.
if you listen to this podcast and you fucking bitch to me about 2,400 calories ever again, I swear to God,
Screw
you're gonna
you,
have real problems.
influencers. Do you have people that come to you and like they show you like the influencers that go like they'll do the post where they're like, come eat with me for a day and all that crap. They're like, look at what they're eating. These are the calories they're eating. They're losing all this weight. And I'm like, no, they're not. It's fake. It's all fake. It's a facade. Stop. And they're like, nope. If they're doing it, it has to work. And I'm like, well, you're not 23 years old anymore, and you're not. Okay, sorry. Rant over.
No, I agree. I think that's why,
God.
sometimes those posts aren't always beneficial for people, right? Because sometimes I don't always like to share how many calories I'm eating or my macro breakdown because people are like, oh, if I do that, I'll look like Krysten. Or if I eat like that person with their food diary of the day or whatever it's called, food daily. I don't know what the FDOE. Anyways, I'm not an influencer, obviously, but like people try to they try to copy that and they think like, oh, I'm going to look like that if I just follow along and do what they're doing, right?
Yeah. Or people don't understand what at the current height that they are and the body composition that they have, what their actual weight should be to look like they want to look. And they're like, oh, well, I just want to weigh 120 pounds. Well, you're 5'8". I don't think you really want to weigh 120 pounds. Good luck.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's just this whole body dysmorphia thing is just not fun. Like it's not fun to work through as a coach. I'm sure you struggle with a lot of that probably as well with your clients.
There's a lot of that. Yeah, no, there's a lot of that for sure. It's really tough at times.
Yeah, that's funny. I had did you see that post about the kid I made, Alex, about eating more food? He's such a knucklehead. That kid's a goober, but
I don't think so. I think I missed that one.
I just posted a story because he's been real pumped because he's been tracking his macros the last 2 weeks because we're trying to get him to freaking gain some weight because he's 6 foot and he weighs 165 pounds. And I'm like, dude, you need to grow because he wants to be a baseball player. And he's been really tracking well and logging his stuff well. And he's like, he came in yesterday and he's like, man, I feel really good. Like I have a lot of energy. I'm ready to train. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to work hard. And he's like, I'm sleeping better. And I'm like, all stuff that we've talked about for a year now. And you're just now getting the point. So it's like, man, once you dial
at least
in the
7
nutrition,
times, Nathan. At least 7 times.
well, over a year, I guarantee you I've said it more than 7 times.
I said at least 7 times.
I've said it 37 times probably. But,
well, everyone works on a different spectrum, okay?
But it's just cool to see clients that finally are like, oh, this eating thing does work well. Look at that. Now I can train harder. My results are better. So
almost like things work synergistically together.
Who would have
It's
thought?
almost like we know what we're talking about.
No,
I
we don't have a
I fucking
clue.
sure as hell
No,
don't.
sorry. Don't throw us in that boat with you.
You may, but
Yeah.
we do not.
You keep rowing that boat down the stream yourself. We're just going to go over here and keep acting like we know what we're doing.
I was going to say, like, I think I'm so boring with food that if I post my food in the day, nobody's going to be like, I want to eat that, because it's the same shit every day.
I don't know. Those steaks look
Yup.
phenomenal. I don't know what you're talking about.
I haven't had a steak in a while, dude. I've been cooking all these other meats.
What was the one? What was the one you had?
That's a rump roast, dude. That's some butt.
Oh, I just kind of,
It's
like I
literally
said,
a cow's
I'm
ass.
tapping fast and I saw a big slab of meat, so I just assumed it was a steak.
Yeah, it's in the smoker right now. It's been in there for like 6 hours.
Heck yeah. That's going to be good.
It should be tasty.
Yeah.
But I get to only have like 150 grams of it a day because like my macros are shit. Like my whopping 2,600 calories.
One more week, buddy. You can do it.
I can't wait to be a fat fuck.
Are you dieting right now?
Yeah, I have a competition in 10 days that I have to be 198 for. And I started at 218. So, you know.
That's exciting.
It should be fun.
Yeah.
Just, I'm ready to crush 600 grams of carbohydrates and fucking refeed. Like I'm
Just
so
in
tired.
time for Thanksgiving, or?
Yeah. It works
Nice.
out conveniently for that. I get 9 weeks of 3,900 calories a day.
Oh, baby.
Damn.
I can't wait.
This man going to be
It'll
jacked.
be fun. I don't know if I'm going to be jacked, but I might gain some muscle. And the coolest part is it'll be like 2 pounds of muscle in 9 weeks, probably, if I'm lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Usually what I average in 12.
Your body will just be like, what the hell? What is all this?
Maybe. That's my hope. Maybe I'll get 3 pounds then.
Oh,
probably not, but we'll see. See what happens. And then I got to get back down to 198 again by June.
Oh, you got plenty of time. And you know how to do it now. You know the roadmap to get there. You're
well,
fine.
I think if I eat clean at 3,900 calories, I should be probably only like 205. So it's not really a big deal.
There you go.
I just can't be crushing Snickers and Rice Krispies and, all that shit all the time.
Just once in a while.
When you're trying to gain, you can sure crush that shit. That's for sure.
No, I'm not going to. No, that's how I got up to 218.
No, I'm saying
before.
if. That's what I'm saying. Like
no,
when you
that's
were.
what I did last time. I tried to gain to 220 and it was just stupid. Like clearly I was carrying around 18 pounds of nothing because I'm stronger now than I was then.
Oh, I thought you were trying to gain though, and then you were just throwing down whatever you wanted.
But it was for not. It was for absolutely nothing. I'm stronger now at 18 pounds lighter than I was then. So what the fuck was I gaining it for? This is an argument. This is a problem I have with powerlifting. They're like, just get bigger. And I'm like, why?
Well,
I
because
haven't maxed out what I can do it this way. Why would I try to get bigger?
You do a good job of managing stress where they don't. So they have to have that added size and mass to actually accommodate for the weight that they're trying to get to, where you're just like, your recovery habits are so on point that it's like you can recover.
I think more mass means more weight, and it doesn't mean that. Your nervous system has dick to do with your fucking how much weight you carry around. Like I see plenty of people that are smaller than me that lift more than me. So clearly it's not a thing of size.
Yeah, it happens every day.
Yeah, it's very fascinating. I don't get it. But yeah, so I'm going to be the healthy powerlifter-ish, I guess. I mean, how healthy could I be if I actually get to 2,000 pound total? I don't think I'll be healthy at all. But
Krysten, have you ever competed in any strength sports, or have you had any desire to do any strength sports or anything like that?
I have competed. No, I have competed in powerlifting.
It's not really a strength sport, is it?
I mean, if it's a sport, that's where it falls into, is that category.
Okay, that's fair. Sorry, I just didn't see it that way. Anyway, sorry.
No, I have competed in powerlifting in 2017.
Nice.
And yeah, it was a lot of fun. I actually really enjoyed it. And I started prepping for provincials the following year. Ended up hurting my back during a back squat, and it was a not so fun recovery. So I haven't really gotten back into it since then. Psychological fear, hurting myself again. But I
still have to come back to the dark side.
I know, I've been debating it because I have recently started doing some squat, bench, and deadlifts again, and it's enjoyable. I do love it. So
I personally think it helps bodybuilders tremendously because it helps you develop a type of tissue that you would never get otherwise. But that's just 100%. My personal opinion.
Yeah.
I'm biased, so Nathan should do one.
I have to get healthy again before Nathan can do one. So, but yes,
Dude, I was and I wasn't healthy a year ago either. And now I'm squatting more than I ever thought I could. It's not the end of the world. It's okay, little fella. It's just a back. You'll be all right.
Well, we'll find out what the back can handle today. So,
yeah, probably not much yet, but we'll get there.
I'm not putting a lot on that bar yet today. We'll see what happens.
Your biggest hurdle is going to be the mental one that she was talking about. That's the worst part.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Slow and steady's going to win the race here on this one.
Although, if you do the FRC enough, dude, there's no such thing as straining against external weight anymore. It's not even a thing. It doesn't make any sense.
The whole lumbar, any kind of lumbar pails and rails. Oh my God. Just, no, thank you. Mm-mm.
Are you familiar with your Canadian friends that created the functional range systems?
No, actually.
Oh, really? There's your next step in your career.
Into that. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's like end range training for your joints and connective tissue.
Oh, okay. What did you call it, sorry? Functional.
I call it's functional range conditioning is the name of the company or the course.
Okay. Yeah.
And the whole thing is functional range systems. They consider it internal training. So like everything we do is with external load, and everything they teach is how to get your body to work better within itself. So you're finding different end ranges and you're trying to get better control there and giving yourself a better neurological map of your joints. And then over time, it'll actually change the shape of your joint capsule because you'll have more of it that you can use. So
I'm going to look into that.
Back injuries are no longer a thing in my world. But they were once upon a time. It's pretty fucking terrible.
Yeah. That old Zercher squat.
Like, how many of your clients complain about having an issue with their like SI joint or something in their lumbar when they squat? Is that pretty common for you?
Constantly. Yeah. More so like deadlifts and stuff, like if they do like an RDL or something like that, any hip hinging movements. Yeah.
I'll give you a tip. It's lack of internal rotation generally is what it stems from. And you can change that. So that's not a thing that people are stuck with, although they think they are, or they think they have to get a hip replacement. Because over here, that's a big thing. Like, here, let's cut you open.
Yeah, it's like that here too. So,
no, you should check out the FRC stuff. It's pretty good.
I will.
Can you tell the American
you're smart
people
enough to apply it correctly?
Can you tell the American
people use it and didn't get anything from it? You go ahead, Nathan.
I was just going to say, can you tell the American people that hate the healthcare system over here how terrible the healthcare system is over there, even though it's quote unquote free?
It's horrible.
Thank you. All right.
It's absolutely horrendous.
All right.
Yeah, like
okay.
If you want to get anything done, like it's like years. Yeah. My husband had to get like a nose surgery and it was like an 18-month wait.
Dear God.
Like MRIs are like 9 months. Like,
I got one for you, Nathan. I had a client that was in Whistler and she landed on her back downhilling. So she broke her collarbone, went and got the x-rays in Canada. And they're like, oh yeah, everything's fine. It'll be okay. It'll heal back up. I'm like, okay. So she got back here, went to the hospital. And they're like, yeah, we need to operate on you immediately. There's 3 bone fragments that are floating around in there.
Oh,
she's like, what?
My God.
They're like, yeah, this isn't gonna like do anything on its own. Like, we have to go in there and put a rod in your fucking collarbone and all this shit. And in Canada, they're like, yeah, it'd be like 3 years before you could get a surgery. I'm like,
but it's free, guys. But it's free.
It wasn't for her. They got charged the extra premiums that none of the fucking citizens get charged. It was like a $3,000 or $4,000 hospital visit just to get an X-ray, or they didn't even give her an X-ray actually.
Oh my God! To be told that it'll heal by itself.
Yeah, allegedly. They were like suspect of that. I'm like, that doesn't sound.
So any of
you
like, well,
we'll check it again when we get home. They just went to make sure that there was like nothing that was going to kill her, type of thing, right? Because she landed off a jump on her fucking back and. Basically, it was her neck protector that broke her collarbone. So you can imagine how bad it could have been. But I'm just like, oh, yeah, that healthcare system sounds pretty sweet. Because they'll always be like, oh, yeah, I wish we could live in Whistler. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, until you guys get hurt. Then you don't want to live in Whistler.
Any of you American dum-dums that want to move to Canada for your quote-unquote free healthcare, I will fight you.
No, go. Let them go.
Okay, fair.
We'll trade them all for Krysten. Krysten, you can come to America.
Okay, that sounds good.
We should do an international, just like a draft. We should just draft and just put people up for our nomination and just like, you take awesome. Them, we'll take you.
That would be so awesome.
That'd be sick.
Right?
Like, didn't Key and Peele used to do skits on like different drafts of people? That was amazing. Yes. You ever watched Key and Peele?
Dave Chappelle,
was that a thing in Canada?
What was it called?
Key and
Might have-
Peele, these two black guys. It was like a sketch comedy show.
I don't recall that
Oh
one.
goodness.
It's
She's
pretty
too
funny.
busy making content. Leave her alone.
That's fair. She's been at this way longer than we have, so makes sense.
She's actually making money, Alex, while we're watching Key and Peele. Come on now.
Yeah, good point.
She's making a nutrition course. She's about to come out with a second nutrition course because she's got 3 years into. No, I'm just kidding. Her timeline is very
pleasures too.
We're gonna get her to power lift. Just come back to the dark side.
Okay, I can
It'd
do
be
that.
a great deload from your hypertrophy training. So
yeah, it would. Really would.
Yeah.
That's in one at its finest right there.
I mean, but how do you like to program? Do you like use linear periodization? Do you like block periodization? Are you a conjugate type of person? I mean, what do you like to do?
Well, for myself, like more, I don't know. I think more so for like a lot of clients, keeping it as simple as possible with a linear approach seems to be helpful for most of them. So I try to stick to that for the majority of my clients.
Do you try to like educate them on that stuff as you're programming it for them? Or are you just like, I think it's okay if you just learn how to do the exercises?
I try to, and there's some clients who want to learn and they ask questions. So I try to give them a little bit more attention with that learning side of things when they do show interest in that. Some clients who don't really show a whole heck of a lot of interest, I'll still try to like give them the basics so they have that understanding, but don't always waste my time with that for specific individuals. So just person to person dependent.
That's fair. I got so in the habit of not telling anybody anything because they just got results and they didn't care. But now that I have people that pay me more money, they actually want to know. And I'm like, oh, you want me to tell you what we're doing and why we're doing this? I'm like, oh, my bad. They're like, yeah, I'll adhere better if you tell me. I'm like, didn't realize that was a thing. Sorry. I'm not used to getting these people that are invested in themselves.
Yeah, it's nice when you get people like that.
Well, I mean, that's a big difference, right? Because like if you're helping people that are just getting started, how often do you have to paint that picture to them of like, hey, this is an investment. This is not an expense.
Yeah, right. Constantly.
That's what your course needs to be. You need to have like an onboarding course for how to get clients to adhere. Can you make that for us? I feel like you'd be good at that.
I can try. That's a good one. That's a good idea.
Like Krysten's onboarding process for newbies.
That'd be good. That'd be
I'm
good.
not even kidding.
On it.
Yeah, that'd be really good.
The list.
Oh, there's a list of stuff you're working on currently? Any hints, any details?
I just told you it.
Oh, wait, what?
Nathan wasn't listening.
Where was I at? Oh, man.
Jesus, Nathan. Way to go.
I'm just
making us look bad.
It's been, hey, we're on here for almost 2 hours now, so it's how it goes.
Time flies when you're having fun, Nathan. The Table Talk podcasts are like 3 to 4 hours. We got work to do, sir.
Dude, those people, no, they just, I don't know how Dave does it.
Do you listen
to
other podcasts, Krysten? Because I know you have one. I listened to a few episodes. Do you like doing it solo? Like, how do you do that? That's a good question, right? Like, how do you just talk into a microphone?
No, I tried doing, I know I considered doing the whole interviewing thing, but I'm not like totally invested in the podcasting thing where I'm like as scheduled like as you guys are. So like trying to like sit down and like schedule like an interview with people frequently just isn't something on my radar right now. So that's why I just like sit down and talk about a topic. And typically those topics are just like general questions that I get that I'm like, oh, I'll expand on this. If somebody else is asking this question, it might be helpful for somebody else. Maybe eventually we'll do the interview thing. Obviously, it's there's a lot more context with that, and it's nice to have banter in a podcast listening to it as well too.
She thinks this is calculated and scheduled, Alex. She has no idea.
Yeah, no, I just got shadow banned, so I needed a way to reach more people. So this is what came of that. Like this has all been a byproduct of Instagram fucking me so hard.
I think it literally was just like, hey, you want to do a podcast? Yeah, sure, great, let's do it. Okay. How do we do it? I don't know.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. It's fine.
Figure it out.
The part that I don't know if I could do is just talking to myself. I feel like I would just go on some random tangent and lose exactly where I'm at. And then I'm like, okay, what the fuck happened, guys? And then there's no one to like, I feel like Hoff sometimes. I'm like, reel me back in. Like, reel me back in. I need help here. But I didn't think I would interview people either, but it's turned out to be like the coolest networking tool I've ever come up with somehow. So that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
People are very generous with their time too. So you'd be surprised. So
yeah, that makes absolutely no sense to me. So thanks anybody who's ever agreed to do this and who agrees in the future, because I don't know why you do it, but thanks. Good looking out.
So did you guys want me to send my check, like the address for my check, like through here
Yeah, if
or
you
through
want, sure.
email?
Yeah, I'll send you a nice IOU. I think they have those in Canada, right?
Yes.
Cool. All worked out then. Perfect. But is there anything else we need to go over? Nathan, Krysten, anything you want to talk about? Do you have like how do people reach you?
How did you reach me?
Oh geez, I'm supposed to plug them for you. This is where you're supposed to pitch yourself. You're just as bad
I'm
a salesperson
kidding.
as us. Jesus Christ.
She's too nice. She's too nice, too modest. She
Like,
won't
how did you
plug.
find me?
No
All right,
plugs.
guys. Krysten has Instagram. I think she also has Twitter
I'm
and
kidding.
YouTube. And you should follow all of them because she's clearly smarter than both of us. So if you're listening to us, you only have like tons to gain from her.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. No, I just spend the majority of my time on Instagram, YouTube, my website, thenattyhour.com. You can find all my information there, what I'm about, all my services and stuff like that. So yeah, but Instagram, unfortunately, is controlling my life, and that's where the majority of my time is spent.
Okay,
How many
before
hours do you think you spend
Yeah.
on Instagram in a day?
Oh, I don't want to look.
Oh,
I think it's
I
gone
don't want to
down.
look either. That's
Screen
why I'm
time.
asking you to guess. Because when we
Screen
don't
time.
look at what we're tracking, we can just guess.
I try to keep it like less than 2 hours, but I have seen it like around 3 to 4 certain
Oh.
days. I am embarrassed when I see that
Scroll.
and get mad at myself. Yep.
Scroll.
Yeah.
Scroll.
And then
Is
it's
it
easy
really
for
like
you.
any of it not work though? Because even if you're scrolling, like
Yes.
you are just taking in like how are like when I do it anyways, I'm like, oh, why did this grab
Yeah.
my attention? Like why did and it's so I don't know. Like it kind of is
True.
fucking around, but I feel like I'm still learning something on how to play the
There's-
game of social media.
That is true. That's a good point. It's easy to rationalize that too, but
Yeah.
it is easy for it to like get you to go down that rabbit hole. But you do like have takeaways where it's like, oh, that's a good idea, or a post will like trigger you, and it's like, oh, well, screw that person. I'm gonna make a post like against that
Yeah, I'm
post.
just
So
gonna copy you from now on, basically is what I'm gonna do and see how that works for me. So
there you
It
go.
won't be the same. I guarantee
no,
it.
I know I could not be as nice as she is and deal with the people she deals with.
Yeah,
I did it for a long time and I no.
This
No,
this
I
might
would-
sound bad, but she fits the Canadian stereotype of like they're incredibly nice all the time, every time, 24/7, always
I'm
nice.
sure that's not true, but yeah, she's nice. I'm
Like
sure there's
Thanks.
a mean side there
those,
somewhere.
have you seen the
No.
videos where people in America try to make people in Canada mad or say mean things and they just like compliment them or like say something nice and they can't get them to be mean to them. So like at least you guys have that going on for you in Canada because people around here are just jerks, just mean.
Yeah, Nathan seems to be working out really well for him.
I think I'd rather deal with like jerks than like stupidity.
That's
A lot
fair.
of people are just like, yeah, losing their minds here too.
Blissfully
That's my mean
ignorant.
side.
Oh, there you go.
There
Yeah.
you go.
See, there's some realism there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's you definitely have the what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it. My brain stopped working. That was literally just a dead spot. Just nothing.
It's okay. We'll give you time. We'll give you some
I'll,
time.
I'll
It's
still
never gonna
take
come
I'll take
back.
it as a compliment. I still hear
Yeah,
it.
I mean,
Thank
yeah,
you.
you have the disposition. There we go to deal with the
Whoa.
beginners.
Whoa. Simmer.
That's what it is. Like I don't have the patience to deal with beginners anymore.
Yeah.
Why I just give away everything I can for free. And if you can make it through that shit, all right, then I'll help you. Cool. But
I'm sure I'll reach
before
that
that,
point at some point.
it's fend for yourself, please. I don't know. You've been doing this as long as I have, and you seem to really love those people. So good for you.
Well, thanks.
I wish I had that patience. Fucking wish. Make my life so much easier sometimes.
Yeah.
About that much patience. Alex has about that much patience.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
See?
I have so
See?
much patience, especially with you. Are you kidding me?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Don't cry.
Just because I get irritated with your pity parties.
Stop it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man. Well, Krysten, thank you. We appreciate you coming on here. We'll link your social media down in the description below or your Instagram page. Go check out her Instagram. Go
I'm
check
not gonna
out.
put any of her stuff in the description.
Well, you won't.
on
This is
YouTube.
my job. This is why you need me.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you don't run my YouTube channel though.
Oh, no,
you want
I'm
to do
saying-
that too?
We're gonna link her stuff. We're gonna link her podcast, her nutritional course. We're gonna link all that stuff in the description below. So
Oh,
Thanks
that's
so much,
cool.
you guys. I really appreciate it.
yeah, thanks for coming on and dealing with us for 2 hours. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, muchas gracias. That was. I hope it was as fun for you as it was for me.
It was a pleasure.
So hopefully I can make a good clip out of this.
There you
I'm gonna
go.
really try not to use the steak one, but I'll probably use your nutrition course.
There you go.
Not the
Good
cow
plug.
one, okay.
Good. Yeah, the cow one might be really good.
I already have a reel of some girl talking about how great eating meat is compared to being vegetarian. I don't think I need to make another one. I mean, as much as I would like to push my own personal bias of steaks are for everyone and everyone should have a steak a day, I'm not going to do that.
That's fair.
All right, guys.
Cool.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.